Welcome back. Explosive claims of murder and death threats linked to the Estina dairy farm project have emerged at the state capture inquiry this week. Now, witness Raymond Zondo says his life was threatened for raising corruption concerns. He further claims 3 people who were vocal about that failed project have been killed. Now, inquiry chairperson Justice Raymond Zondo expressed his concern over the apparent lack of action by law enforcement agencies. And to discuss this further, we're joined now on the line by Hawks head Godfrey Lebeya. Thanks very much, Mr. Lebeya, for your time on eNCA now. I mean, Justice Raymond Zondo is saying that his legal team needs to look into this. He's incredibly concerned over law enforcement apparently looking the other way, expressing very little interest in a really serious issue. What's your response to this?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Indeed, we have noted the concerns that have been raised by the chairperson. And then we also appreciate the fact that the officials from the commission will also be conducting investigation to ascertain the concerns that have been raised by the witness. From the side of the DPCI, I have already directed one of the brigadiers, a doctor from my office, to consult with the witness so that we can get to the bottom of the concerns that he is raising. We are not taking these things lightly. We know that there are obviously some people that have been killed based on the statement that Mr. Dlamini have raised, but we need to be consulting with him so that we can record those allegations and be able to attend to them. We know of the investigations that are being conducted by the detectives at station level, but we really need to be checking with him regarding the reports that shall have been raised with the Hawks, so that no stone is left unturned until we have obviously addressed the concerns that are being raised.
Yeah, Mr. Lebeya, I mean, you're saying that you need to consult with this witness at the state capture inquiry, Raymond Zondo. You're saying you need to consult with him. I mean, arguably, you should have consulted with him a very long time ago. 3 people have already died under mysterious circumstances. He himself has given police, has given law enforcement, a recording of the people who are making these very real threats. These are not idle threats. People are losing their lives.
Yeah, remember, I'm talking from the DPCI point of view. And then there are also the investigations that would have been conducted at a station level. So those issues that concerns the DPCI, which he have raised, we need to be consulting with him. We have been consulting with him. I think the last time we have engagement with him is June this year. So I'm saying that we want to be consulting with him based on the testimony that he shall now have provided before the commission. Before his testimony, we didn't know what he will be providing by the commission. That is why we need to go and consult after he have finalized his testimony. We don't get the affidavits beforehand. So it is based on that we need to be ascertaining that precisely this is what he is referring to. We know of the 3 cases, but we just need to be ascertaining as to whether these are the ones that we are talking about and ascertaining those complaints.
So Ms. Lebeya, just take us back to this issue that Raymond Zondo raised at the state capture inquiry. He says these threats were made shortly after the Hawks and the NPA visited that Estina dairy project in the Free State and closed it down. He says he went to the Hawks, he went to the NPA, and he was told that they would shut down the project. Just take us back to that event and the DPCI's involvement in the shutting down of the Estina dairy farm project in the Free State. And what have been your conversations with the people that are involved in getting these threats, the people who have so far been killed? Just take us back a couple of steps.
Yeah. Obviously, what the record that we have at hand suggests that the first death shall have occurred in 2013, the second one in 2014, and the third one in 2018. That is the record that we are having. So the issue of a conversation with the witness is what I say that the last time we had with the conversation with him was in June this year. Mm-hmm. Some of the issues that have been raised at the commission are the ones that we need to be consulting the witness on. And obviously, we will not be publicly saying what is the content of the dockets that we are having, as this thing will obviously have to find the time to be ventilated in court at a later stage.
Mr. Lebeya, can I just stop you there for a second, because you're right. Your last conversation with Ephraim Dlamini was in June this year. In fact, it was on the 11th of June this year. We're now heading to the end of July. We're beginning a new month of August. We're heading to the 6-week sort of 2-month period since he's had any feedback from the Hawks regarding this video of a threat on his life. Is that good enough?
No. That is why I say that I have assigned a senior officer to attend to that concern, so that if there are shortcomings from those that have been attending to the matter, we will be able to deal with that one. So there is a report that we get from the investigation team. But as the report will not be directly corresponding with what we have heard during the evidence, we need to be having consultation with the officer. That is why we are sending a senior commissioned officer to be consulting with him, so that we can compare the facts that are being raised with what we have on record.
Mr. Lebeya, before we let you go, on the face of things, given that you last spoke to him on the 11th of June 2019, we're now sitting towards the end of July. On the face of it, those facts, has the Hawks done enough in terms of helping the people that are involved in the Estina dairy farm project, 3 of whom have already died under mysterious circumstances?
Yeah, I think that if you shall have heard when I indicate the times of death, when those deaths have occurred, is something that only after consultation with the witness will we be able to say as to whether enough has been done. So obviously enough will never be done until those who have perpetrated these things have been brought to book. So it is a matter that we can't say that it is enough. But as I say, the report that we have from the investigating officer is what we need to be comparing with the testimony that have been given by the witness before the commission.